Check, check, check. Well, what's up, G5 leadership? Are y'all ready for tonight? We are excited. We are in person at G5 leadership. I am excited to introduce our first speaker. I know him very well. He's one of my best friends, and that person is me. Woo! And I'm so excited to be talking to y'all tonight. It's going to be awesome. But can we just real quick, we have people live streaming in right now on our G5 on Facebook and YouTube. Can we just say hi, live stream? We are so excited there. We got people streaming in from all over the world and even from Davenport. So it's really cool. But guys, of course, I have to start off with a joke, and I have a new joke. And I tested this joke out on a couple people earlier, and they were like, interesting. I was like, I don't know if that's a good reaction or not. But I'm going to do the joke anyway. Is that cool with y'all? Okay, so there's these two hunters, okay? And they're going into the woods to go hunting. And they're walking, Junior doesn't know this one. So they're walking through the woods, and all of a sudden, one of the hunters just all of a sudden passes out. And like his eyes glaze over, and he seems like he's dead. And so the other hunter calls 911, and he's like, 911, what's your emergency? And they're like, well, I'm out hunting with my buddy, and he just passed out, and I think he's dead. They're like, okay, calm down, you're okay. They're like, well, just first step is we have to make sure he's actually dead. And they were like, okay. And the guy goes, okay. And there's a pause and then a gunshot. And then he goes, okay, what do I do now? You all will get that joke later if you don't get that now. But if somebody needs that to be explained to them, please let me know and I will explain it to you later. But but it's one of those jokes. It's funny. You got to admit it's funny. But, But, guys, I'm going to jump right in tonight because I'm not going to be that long because it's going to be a fun night because I get to introduce my sister after I speak tonight to talk to y'all for a little bit. She's going to correct everything I say. It's going to be awesome, making me sound better than I am. I'm her brother. I got to give her grief. It's okay. But guys, I am going to talk about 5 values to follow to help get you motivated. Now, I've talked about motivation and habits and having a vision a lot in the last year. And here at G5, we love helping you find what motivates you. And so the first point in this is it's so simple, but it's one of those, how do you know sometimes the most simplest points are the greatest points you can put it into your life? And it is go after what you want. Go after what you want. Now, I'm going to tell you a story. So in New York, there's this big park called Central Park. And sometimes they do runs. People sponsor runs through Central Park. And there was these 2 guys, they went on a run through Central Park. And they were running and stuff. And at the end of the run, somebody that sponsors the race usually sponsors bagels. And he has the big free bagels at the end of the race. And so the one guy looks at the other guy and goes, dude, free bagels. Let's do this. And the other guy goes, but dude, the line. And the other guy goes, but dude, free bagels. And he goes, but dude, the line. And he said he walked over and stuck his arm between the people that were in line and just grabbed 2 bagels and pulled it out and walked it over to his buddy. And he said he looked at his buddy and said, there's 2 ways to look at life. What you want or the obstacle blocking what you want. And determining who you are in life is how you perceive what you're going after. Now, I'm dyslexic. Saying perceive is a big word for me. But how many of you know your perspective on everything you do determines what you do and how you achieve it? Every day you get up, I want you to ask yourself this. Are you a person that focuses on the problem or a person that focuses on what you want to achieve? Because once you zone in on what you achieve, the problem ceases to exist. It doesn't mean there's not going to be obstacles. But how many of you know your priorities shift? Now, there's this amazing thing going on right now in the world called the Olympics. And how many of you know there are so many obstacles these people have to overcome to even have a chance of winning a medal? We were watching an interview last week on the Olympics, and I can't remember who it was, but they had won a medal. And they were like, what do you think about you winning a medal? And they were like, to be honest, I am just grateful I had a chance to be a part of the amazing event. Talking about being grateful. Now, I want to encourage you, no matter what you do in life, there's always something you can get out of something. There's something you can learn from everything. Number two, this is fun. This is one of my favorites because it's so true. Sometimes, number two, you're the problem. And you're saying, Blake, why, what happened? We went from being positive to being negative now. We're not being negative. But how many of you know there's a book that my dad wrote called How to Stop Self-Defeating Behaviors? And the greatest thing you can do for yourself is get out of your own way. Now, there was a plague back in the 1800s. And it happened around childbirth, and the moms would give birth to these babies. And all of a sudden, 48 hours later, the mothers would pass away. And they were trying to figure out what was going on. They're like, why is this happening? And come to find out, this guy went to the doctors that were doing the procedures and saying, hey, I think I know what's causing these deaths. And they're like, really? What is it? And the guy goes, I think it's you. And the doctors go, what do you mean you think it's me? And the guy goes, do you clean your instruments after every surgery? And he goes, no. And he goes, sometimes you're the problem of the greatest miracles in life. And after that, that's when they instill that you clean your instruments every time. But how many of you know, sometimes you're the problem of the greatest victories that you're blocking yourself from achieving? So I want to encourage you, if you have a mentor in your life, if you have anything, I want you to put this in your life. Once a week, I want you to call them and say, hey, am I doing anything this week that is making me not achieve what I should achieve this week? By asking clarifying questions, you get out of your own way. Now, here's what I'm also going to encourage you. After you ask the question and you get the information, it's also your responsibility to use the information you received. So it's important to apply the information you receive after you ask the question. Number three is once you realize you are the problem, take accountability. Take responsibility. I remember we were in a meeting years ago, and my dad walked into our office. So we had a big office over at the warehouse, and we had a bunch of people in the room, and they were all arguing over whose responsibility it was and whose fault it was. And my dad walked in and slammed his hand on this table and said, it's my fault. Now, how are we going to fix it and move on? It does not matter whose fault it is. It matters that we get the job done and accomplished. So I want to encourage you to take responsibility to then move on to succeed the way you're supposed to. Because how many know at the end of the day, you can point fingers all day long, but pointing fingers takes a lot of time out of achieving your dreams. Move on. Number four. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Number 4 is take care of each other. Now, there's this organization, and they're called the Navy SEALs. And I love war movies. I love learning about this stuff. And I saw an interview one day, and this Navy SEAL was asked, can you tell me who is it that succeeds or doesn't exceed in the Navy SEALs? And he goes, I couldn't tell you exactly who I know when I see them, who's going to win in this. He goes, because sometimes we have guys come in that they're all jacked up and they're like 6'8", and they're all muscular and tatted up. And, normal people go, oh, they're the ones that are going to succeed in this. And he says, sometimes they're the ones that drop out the quickest. He says, but I can tell you, I can see the fire in the guys' eyes when I know they're going to accomplish something. He says, you'll get these little skinny guys shaking out of fear. But he says they'll have a buddy come alongside them and go, let's do this together. They're the ones that become the greatest warriors in history. He says when they found out that they can take care of each other by speaking encouraging words to each other, it got them through the tests. So I want to encourage you. Are you speaking life or are you speaking death? And I want to encourage you. This is something I want to encourage y'all. In businesses and life and friends, sometimes the people you think you shouldn't be friends with are the people you should be friends with. looks aren't everything. Sometimes you see this sharp-dressed person and they got a suit, and you think, oh, I got to be friends with them because they're successful. Sometimes the greatest, most successful people don't look like they have anything. So don't ever judge a book by its cover. Okay? And finally, the fifth one is listen over speak and ask, don't tell. Listen over speak and ask, don't tell. Listen over speak and ask, don't tell. And you're saying, like, what do you mean? Sometimes people talk when they should be listening. And you're saying, Blake, we're made to talk. We're supposed to talk. I understand this, but I learned at a very young age, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. My dad taught me at a very young age, Blake, it is more valuable to listen, to feed yourself, so when it is time for you to talk, you have something of value to say. So what are you listening to? And I want to encourage you. My family, my father and mother made sure at a young age that my sister and I were putting value into our souls and into our hearts instead of garbage. And you say, like, how do you know what is good and what is not? That is a great question. I encourage you to come ask us at another time because we can walk you through that. But I want to encourage you, listen, 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 listen. Because when you listen, you can achieve so much more. And I love this, and I believe this so much that people grow in 4 different seasons in life, okay? They grow in 4 different seasons in life. When it hurts enough, they have to. When they see enough, they're inspired to. When they learn enough, they want to. And when they receive enough, they're able to. So when they hurt enough, they have to. When they see enough, they're inspired to. When they learn enough, they want to. And when they receive enough, they're able to. Now, I want to encourage you. We all have a life story. We all got stories. We've all been through a lot. I love what my father says. He simply says, there's a saying that he heard when he was a kid, and it says, to go out on the road and spread the gospel and use words when necessary. So I want to ask you right now, what does your life say about yourself if somebody had to tell you somebody about you? I asked somebody today, I was on the phone with them, and I simply asked a question. I said, hey, if somebody asked you a question, asked you how to describe me, how would you describe me? I want to encourage you to not be afraid to ask questions, even if it's hurtful or true, because how many of you know that sometimes you need to learn the truth about yourself from other people? Because how many of you know when you trapped inside yourself, I can't speak today. Hi, I'm Blake and I speak for a living. You're fine. Your perspective on yourself can always warp your perspective on your life. So I want to encourage you. And I do this. I have friends that I ask this all the time. I ask them once a week, or at least I try to. I say, where do I need to grow that I can't see that you see in my life that I need to change? I ask them. And you can ask my friends, and they'll tell you I ask them. And I ask my dad this all the time. I say, where do I need to grow? Because when you stop asking questions, you stop growing. But I want to encourage you to implement this stuff in your life. Can you do that for me? So I'm going to close, and I'm going to bring up somebody that I've known her entire life, and she's like, oh, Lord, what is he going to say? You know, but I'm not going to say anything stupid, I promise. But I just love her so much, and I'm so proud of her. But can you please help me welcome my amazing sister with a smiley face computer case? My sister, pretty good, guys.
Come on, so good. I was trying to write notes fast enough. So good, so proud of you, bub. How y'all doing? Doing good? Welcome to leadership. I called my dad today. I was like, okay, well, you sure you don't want to fly back for tonight? It'd be really nice. Anyway, I do want to tell y'all this. My dad took so much time out of his schedule to make sure he didn't leave you without something. So there is a special message from PT tonight, and it's so good. It's so good. So we're going to get to the good stuff in just a minute, but I just want to chat with you for a few minutes. Is that okay? Can we do that together? Okay, cool. Hey, how many of y'all know leaders make mistakes? Yeah? Can you admit it? Can you admit it, Junior? Sometimes. I make a lot of mistakes. I just want to preset this before we get into this, that leaders aren't set apart from making mistakes. What actually sets them apart is when they make a mistake, they learn from it. They don't just sit in it. So I'm speaking to you tonight from a place of, I've made a lot of mistakes. I still make a lot of mistakes. But I have incredible people in my life that catch when you fall. Anybody grateful for someone who doesn't judge you when you make a mistake, but they actually say, come on, I've been there before, but we can do it together. There's power in it. Leaders make mistakes. We're not set apart from it. We actually are probably more prone to it because we're in so many battles, and the pressure gets hard. Anybody watched a pressure cooker before? When the pressure gets so it pops. And so what happens is leaders get put under a lot of pressure. And so I believe this: when leaders get put under a lot of pressure, and we do it over and over and over and over and over again, we sometimes just forget the basics of leadership. Just the foundation, the simple pieces that maybe we could say, wow, that person, they've got leadership skills in them. I don't know about you, but I've been around an environment where we try to notice leadership skills in people before we ever get them in a place where we train them. We actually see it. And so we just want to go back to the basics. I believe that there's really 5 basic requirements of a leader. Just simple things. And you may be saying tonight, Bree, this is so simple. But if we don't master the simple, we won't be able to succeed in the complicated and the hard and in the tough and in the nitty-gritty. We just won't. And so mastering the simple. Some of the greatest leaders I know, these are the things that stood out to me about them. It wasn't the achievements and the crowds, even the way that they taught. It was these simple things that I saw in them. So we're going to go over them really quick. But number one is leaders are always on time. It's a basic thing of leadership. I don't know about you, but I respect someone so highly when they show up on time. And what is on time, leaders? It's early. It's early. I'm on time. Well, first off, I grew up in a home where if I wasn't on time, there was a consequence. But I was raised in a home where you honor people's time, no matter who it is. My hairdresser, she knows. She will get a text from me if I'm going to be 3 minutes late. She knows. It's never. This is the most funny. My nail tech, I'm always 5 minutes early to my nail appointment because I will never. And one time she was like, dang it, Brie, I was really hoping you'd be late this time. I'm running like so late. But she said, I knew you wouldn't be. And I was like, really? She goes, you know you've never been late? She said, you've always been at least 5 minutes sitting in that chair waiting for me to be done with my appointment. But I want that reputation, do you? Do you want someone to say, anybody have those people in your life where you invite them, but you send them the hour before time actually people are coming, so they'll maybe show up when everyone else does? You may be saying, Bree, this is so simple. No, if you don't master this. Are you known for being early, or are you known for being late? Simple question. Number 2 is they take care of themselves. And I know y'all, something like, Bree, you don't take care of yourself. I wanted to bring my water tonight to prove that I've been doing so much better taking care of myself. But I don't just mean this in a maybe like vitamins, which Jesus knows I need to take them, but that's another topic for another night. But But what I mean, do you stay groomed? Do you take care of yourself? Do you care about the way you do look? I do believe you shouldn't judge someone by their cover, but do you know who you are enough to respect yourself enough to walk into a room showered and clean and ready? Have you met people you walk out and you're like, dear God, have they taken a shower? I know this is simple stuff, but do you take care of yourself? I'll tell you this, sometimes the worst I feel, it's the nicest, like I look the nicest I've ever looked. At church, the most times, people would be like, you sound awful, but you look great. But I want to make sure I'm not looking the way that I feel, that I take care of myself. Ladies, I'm going to be real with you. If you don't put on some makeup, you know what I'm saying? Like, take care of yourself. Own what God has given you. Take care of it. There's these people, and Lord, they're everywhere, actually. They're in the Walmart. They're in Publix. They come to church. But they walk in, and they look like the week that they had. I don't even have to ask, how was your week? I already know. Like, ooh, good to see ya. That one's for you, not me. But I want to not wear what I've been through. I want to wear what I know where I'm going and what God has in store for me. I get it. I'm going to be real. Ladies come to church and they think if they look like woe is me, people will feel woe is her. Oh, are you okay, honey? I'm fine. I'm a woman of God. I don't know about you, but I'm more prone to walk up to the people who've got walk into church with dignity and pride, and I'll check in. How are you doing? You know, they're the people that are going through the most. Bree, I've been through a battle. Bree, you don't know what I've been through this week. You're right, I don't know. I would love to hear. And then here comes Joe walking in. Boy, I know what you've been through. Sorry, my car, well, it wasn't starting, but it did start. But man, that was a tough 5 minutes. I'm sorry, but sometimes it's the simplest. We can get completely overdone by the simplest of things. But leaders, they take care of themselves. I get it. Do I always feel like putting on the best? I'm not saying you always have to put on the best. I'm the queen of throwing my hair up in a bun and no makeup. I'm queen of it. But also it's the way you carry yourself. Are you carried like you're depressed and in sorrow? Or you're carrying yourself, God, I know I may be walking through junk, but God, you're good. You're good. Leaders, I don't know about you, but good leaders, that's how they choose to act. They take care of themselves. I love this, but number 3, it says, they know their face speaks before they do. I'll be real. Sometimes X will have to look at me. Bree, your face on Tuesday was special. But anyway, we're not going to talk about Xavier's faces sometimes. But it's so true. Your face can speak way before you ever have to. I know I just touched on this, the way people, but I'm telling you, it's their face. I get it. Sometimes things can hurt and things can throw you off and things can take you off guard and you immediately judge with your face before you ever have to say anything. Have you ever been judged by someone, they didn't even say anything to you? I saw the way you looked at me. I'm going to tell you this. I was in the airport one time. I still can't get over this lady. And I was waiting for the tram, you know, the lovely tram. This was Atlanta. We love the Atlanta airport. And I was admiring her outfit. I was just kind of like looking wherever. And she looks up at me. She goes, "Can I help you?" And I was like, but I also had to check myself because I said, "Bree, maybe you weren't admiring the way that you should have been. Maybe, I don't know what my face said, but it made me realize that whatever my face said to her made her question what I was actually thinking. So I may have been thinking a nice thought, but I didn't tell my face that. What are you telling your face to say? Are your thoughts coming through your face? Are you checking your thoughts before your face is ready to say it? I'm just saying leaders check in. They know that their face says it all. Are you smiling? I don't know about you, but there's power in a smile. In the breezeway, when someone walks by and I watch them, I'm like, I promise I'm not weird. No one smiles anymore. Have you ever realized you go to Publix and you're like walking and someone passes you and they're like this? And I'm like, no one smiles anymore. What have happened to, you take a walk or a run in the morning, I swear people are like dodging you. Sorry, Spence, I'm running. I'm just saying there's power in it. How are you expressing? Are you expressing what you're feeling? Or are you expressing what you know people need? Are you thinking about what you're going through? Or are you wondering, what are other people going through? How could my face impact someone's life today? Leaders, they think about this. Number 4, they're always learning. Blake touched on this. I'll tell you what, there is not a moment I do not enter my dad's bedroom or the bathroom and there is not a CD, a podcast. There's something always on. He's always learning. It challenges me. I get it. I get tired sometimes. I'm like, Dad, I can't take any more content. I can't take it anymore. And he's so understanding of that. Sometimes you got to be able to sit back and process the content you have been taking in. And he knows that. But he just wants to always make sure, Bree, just because you graduated high school, that doesn't mean you're done. Actually, the real learning begins. But are you always learning? Josh, before leadership guided, he just asked in the kitchen to all of us, he said, are we winning? And I said, yeah, always. And he said, are we learning? I said, always. Are we losing? Never. But we're learning. It's the right question. What are you asking? Did I lose today or did I learn today? What are you asking? What are you asking? Did I get offended today or did I learn something today about myself? Why did that hit me the way it did? Why did I take this chip on my shoulder today? Why did I react the way I did? Why did I show that face? I took a learning moment. I said, ooh, that lady didn't like that. Maybe I should learn something right now. Or I could have gotten offended. Well, ma'am, I was actually admiring you. I didn't say anything. I said, I'm so sorry, ma'am. I said, I really like your shoes. That's my fault. Are we learning? Leaders are always learning. And the last one, and I close, and I'm going to intro PT's incredible message, but number 5 is leaders, they're always hard workers. Do you work hard? Are you afraid of work? I don't know about you, but a day where I end in exhaustion sounds like a pretty good day to me. Now, there's different ways you can be exhausted. You can be exhausted from just running around work, trying to not do the work and making yourself busy. And man, that is exhausting. I'm telling you what, it's more work trying to get around work than it is just to do the work. Like sometimes, like right now, our refrigerator is a mess. And I'm like, oh, I need to get in there. I'm like, I don't want to get in there. But every day I'm like, what if I can, it's like Tetris. I'm like, can I put something here? Can I put something there? And I'm making more work for myself trying to get around the work if I just did the work. Tomorrow I'm doing the work. Mark it down. But I'm just saying, I get it. I'm good at it too. Sometimes something just seems too daunting to take on. But if we would just take it on, we spend the last 3 months not taking it on and we got nowhere. You know what I hate the most? Is I'm here trying to get around the work and there's 5 people doing the work and they're way farther than I am. And now I have double the work to catch up. Do the work. Do the work. Leaders are hard workers. I see it. It's one of the greatest things we notice in people. Man, they work hard. My dad, he'll get home. Hey, did you see so-and-so? They work hard. Our servant leaders, they're hard workers. They give their lives away. But all I want you to know is if you want to be a leader and if you want to even accomplish the basic requirements of what a leader actually requires, it's simple. Be on time. Take care of yourself. Know that your face speaks way before your mouth ever does. Always be learning. Never stop learning. When I'm 80, I hope I'm continuing to learn. There's something new to learn. And then always just work hard. Because it's characteristics that will get you further than good speaking, good. You can say something, but if you don't do it, it doesn't mean anything. So are your actions speaking before your mouth does? Can we work on being better leaders together? Trust me, I needed these reminders today just as much as you. You know, sometimes we get so good at the intricate stuff that we sometimes just forget the basic stuff. And we need reminders, don't we? I live with a father who reminds, and I'm so grateful for it because I need the realignment. It's what we need. You know, God, he always just realigns. You can say, well, I've read that scripture before. Read it again. Realignment. There's power. There's power in leadership. Well, I'm going to introduce my incredible father. He's got, I keep wanting to say word, but it is a word. But this message is incredible, and I want you to lean in, take notes. We always say this. I know it's a video, but he is speaking to you. I promise you. This man is incredible at speaking to the room, video in the room, no matter where he is. So lean in, take notes, and I promise, don't just take the notes, but put action to the notes and watch what will happen in your life. Cool? We welcome PT.
Oh my goodness. Leadership. It's one of my favorite times of the month. When we get together and we come in from chopping wood and we sharpen the axe and we get better and with more skill, more wisdom, more understanding, with greater growth, we can do more and be more and step into our destinies. I just have a dream that people that are connected to G5 leadership will just go out and be such world changers and make such a difference in this world. Now that may sound a little grandiose to you, but hey, let's go for it. Let's make a difference. Let's make an impact. What I want to talk to you about this month is about under-promising and over-delivering. Under-promising and over-delivering. Everybody right now has been a victim in the past of somebody that over-promised and under-delivered. Let you and I be the people that under-promise and over-deliver. I want you to write that down. I am a over-deliverer. In a world right now where most people are leading themselves in this manner, first give me a reward and then I'll do the work, but I won't do it to the level of your expectation, or let me figure out how I can do as little as I can do and get the most out of it. Now, I am all for you getting the most out of what your time is. And I think you should negotiate that. I don't think you get what you want. I think you get what you negotiate. But you need to be very smart, very intelligent. You need to find the need and then figure out how you're going to deliver a solution. So, for the people that you serve, are you ready? I want to do this at G5 as well. Here's what I want you to do. Number one, I want you to help them connect with another valuable contact. Network. Bless people's lives. Give them an opportunity that maybe they wouldn't normally get. Maybe give them entrance into a room that presently right now they could not be entered into. How many of you have ever heard this? It's not what you know, it's who you know. Well, I believe it's both of them. But I would just encourage you to be somebody that helps other people connect with right people. Connect them with valuable contacts for future business. It's the best way to add value and show that you care. It's so simple. Connect them with resources, partners, brands, customers. It really is the best kind of source of gift. How many of you would be pumped today if somebody came and gave you 2 or 3 really powerful, uplifting, valuable, results-driven contacts? Number 2, show them what's possible. Expose to them the ceiling way beyond what they think is possible. They may be seeing it here, and you see it here. And then as you tell them about seeing that here, open their eyes and then make sure you walk with them and expose them to the strategies and the plans and the tools to get there. Broaden their perspective, leaving them with a different way of looking at their lives, and they will always want to reach out to you. Number 3, always under promise and over deliver. I started with that, but I want to encourage you one more time, under promise and over deliver. Under promise and over deliver in everything you do. There's no better way to delight a client than give them a 5-star review. Invest heavily in the client's projects and in their managers, not just in what they're doing, but in the people. Encourage them, uplift them, notice them, and watch what can happen in your life. Always, always under promise and over deliver. I can tell you, don't ever forget, this is so critical. Don't ever forget, please, don't ever forget that it's always about people. It's always about people. Number 4, provide results. Provide results. Show them an appreciation for their life and surprise them and delight your client, and do it because you show appreciation for them and what they're doing and the value they're giving. Do you know if you appreciate people around you, they will give way more than they were intended to give? It's not a manipulation tool. It's how we are wired. When I'm appreciated, when I know you're thankful for who I am, you notice what I do, I want to do more. That's so powerful. In your life right now, do it. They're going to appreciate the fact that you go to the extra step. They're going to see that you're doing it. And if they don't see it, don't ring your horn, but find a way to communicate to them to say, hey, I just want you to know I did this, and it will help. I have a friend of mine that he details our cars, and I've had rubber stripping come loose on Florida weather. It's just so hard on cars. And he came to me the other day and he goes, is it okay if I glue that back in there? Wow. I never asked him to do it. He didn't charge me to do it. When I thanked him, here were his words. I just wanted to help. Wow. Today, I would encourage you to provide results by just wanting to help. Number 5, demonstrate early results in their new projects. Nothing surprises or delights a customer like results, especially when you deliver them early. Not only appreciate them, but deliver them early and show them that you will deliver on time or early, and it will excite them about working with you in the future. Do you know why? Because you're solving a problem that most other people are leaving undone. Number 6, use humor to humanize your brand. We have great success using humor to surprise and delight our clients and their customers, especially when we're working in corporate videos, or we're doing videos for people, or we're speaking to people. Have some fun. Don't be so factual. that there's no relationship and there isn't fun. Make sure it's fun for everybody, not just you. But I want to encourage you to skillfully and consistently apply humor and create a value that causes people to smile and causes stress to leave them and causes them to look forward with their next interaction with you. So powerful. When you use humor and you hang out with them, I promise you, rather than repelling them, you're going to draw them. Number 7, be honest about the value that you can add. Be honest, transparent about the value you can add. I got to tell you, there are some people that no matter what they do, they just bring more and more problems because they don't deliver on what they said they would do. How many of you in the last 6 months have had a project and you needed a certain level of consistently just people delivering high quality and excellence? And instead, you found out that your excellence was here and their excellence was here. And it causes great conflict. I just want you to be honest about the value that you can add in the time frame that you can add it. So I just want you to know there's nothing wrong with you stating clearly, this is the value I'm going to add. I love it because when I go out and I speak for other organizations and other churches or whatever, I love to over prepare and bring more value than they expected me to. And so it's incredible when you can lay down on the pillow at night and know that you've over-delivered and you build credibility and they will tell other people about you. Number 8, think long-term and proactively. Think long-term and proactively. One of my favorite ways is to surprise and delight someone is to over-deliver. And there's always an opportunity to go above and beyond what they're asking for. Oh my goodness. This is so cool. This is just amazing. Matter of fact, I would encourage you not only do this at work, but do it at home. Do it with your friends. Don't under-deliver. Don't under-deliver. Over-deliver. And get the delight of giving more than they were asking for. One of the ways to do this is to think long term. What it is that the client right now is working on, and they're working on it right now, but you can also see a long-term vision, which will cause you to give more and add more value up front so that the value is there in the end. Number 9, I want to encourage you. Over-deliver in ways that matter to them. I know you may think you know the ways that over-delivering, what that would mean to you, but find out what over-delivering means to them. Over-deliver on a product or a service that will positively impact their life. I just encourage you to just add the extra. I'm so amazed. I have this clothing store I go to. My friend, he's been a friend forever. I speak for him every now and then, and we've helped him build companies and other stores. And you know what he does? He leaves dog treats and water out for his customers. Just over delivering in a way that matters to your customer. You may not even have a dog. You may not have a cat. But I would encourage you to over-deliver and be smart. Having treats for their dog is one way. Maybe having small chairs where their children can sit down. Just over-deliver. Here's what I would encourage you to do. Find out what people need and meet it beyond their expectation. Number 10, celebrate their personal wins. Do you know how many people don't have anybody that celebrates their success? They're not happy for their new car. They're not happy for their new truck. They're not happy for their new house. They're not happy for their pool. They're not happy for their vacations. Man, social media is just a whole lot of people not happy for other people. Get to know people personally and celebrate their life's wins. When their kids graduate, when something monumental happens in their lives, if they get a pay raise, know their kids' names. Work on this. And when they graduate from college or sports events that they're doing, they get pets. I just encourage you to celebrate their victories. Celebrate what's important to them, what matters to them. It's so easy to stay mad about what we're not receiving, about what we're not getting. But I would encourage you to change your focus from that to being focused more on what are other people winning at, and let me celebrate them. I promise you, it will make all the difference in the world, and it will create magic inside of your life and in your business and in your organizational structure. When you have a genuine interest in them as human beings, sending a birthday card or a birthday text or customize a gift and find out what it is they love, it will be amazing what happens in your life. Number 11, and this is so critical, give value for free. Don't charge for everything. I just can tell you that if you will give valuable information to the people you're serving, your prospects and your customers, even if they decide to work with someone else, we want to make sure that we are adding value to them for free. Maybe you've lost a customer. Maybe you just should call them up and say, hey, I just found this. I thought it would be of value to you, and I wanted to give it to you. Wow. How long does that take? But the difference it makes is completely different. It is so powerful. So I want you to surprise and delight the people that you work with, the people that you serve. Anticipate needs. Be out in front of it. Number 12, set realistic and specific goals and outline things that you can do to raise the bar and add value. There are metrics that you can beat. I'm going to tell you, outperforming expectations never fails. So when you see where they're headed, what they're expecting, the matrix that they're looking at, how they measure what they do, what is success, find the answer to that question for them. And then realize that you can be a big surprise to them when you beat, over-deliver, and under-promise. It'll change so much. Number 13, make the client shine. Make the people that you're serving shine. Surprise a client by making them shine, bragging on them to others. Matter of fact, this not only works with your clients, this works with your children. This works with people around you. Notice them, brag on them in front of other people. We all have someone to answer to, and our goals have to be hit. And so as you look at your life, you've got to ask yourself right now, am I putting the spotlight on other people? Am I helping them win? This is huge leadership, because when you don't make someone else be seen, you actually harm them. And in a world right now where everybody else is trying to be seen, if you stand out as someone who is making other people seen, not to manipulate them, but to add value to them, to strengthen them, is just incredible. Number 14, send a care package. Send a care package. Find out what they need and send them a care package. Sometimes it may just be a word of encouragement. My friend called me the other day and told me the story about my wife that called somebody and said, you cannot believe that little call of encouragement, of acknowledgement, meant everything. You don't know how the smallest things make the biggest difference, but I just encourage you to find out what people desire. I make jokes all the time about how many Butterfingers I eat, and I have eaten my share of Butterfingers, okay? But it's amazing to me because sometimes people will just show up and they bring Butterfingers. I have a friend of mine that just recently brought me a whole box of Butterfingers, and I mean, it was several bags, and I got to share those Butterfingers, that victory, with our team. Find out what you can do to let people know I'm aware, I care. Anticipate needs. Find out what it is. Number 15, and I close. I hope these add value to you. I know they will. Get to know them outside of their business world. We understand that our people that we serve are more than just their business. So we focus on other aspects of their life. I was standing in Microsoft with Ken Turner, the COO, and I watched him talking to one of his managers about somebody whose performance was slipping. And he just looked at him and said, "How well do you know them?" And he rattled off 4 or 5 things about this person that this person did not know. And all he said was, I would encourage you to personally get to know your people. Not where you're digging into their personal lives, but just what burdens are they carrying? What victories are they looking for? What challenges are they up against right now? Get to know people. Know what they're walking through. Know where they're walking to. Watch them. Encourage them. Invite them to go to special places with you. We love to go see people that do humor, and we've just invited a bunch of our friends to go with us to go see somebody that is a comic, and I'm so excited about it because there's so much fun in laughing together. So maybe you can find out what their favorite candy is, what their favorite restaurant is, little things that you can do. I would just encourage you to do that. I want you to under-promise and over-deliver. This is your moment. Make it happen. Lead above, be on it by over-delivering and under-promising. Charge.
Come on, so good. He doesn't count. It's so good. Aren't you grateful? Do you feel equipped tonight? Yes. That message is so good. I'm like, I have to watch it again. But I don't know if you've ever experienced someone who's under promise and over deliver, but it does something. It changes something. And what do? You go back. You're like, I'm going to give you more business. So I don't know about you. If it works for them, I'm pretty sure it would work for us. But I'm just grateful. I do want to leave with this, that this man, you're like, okay, it sounds pretty, it sounds good, but he does that all the time. Sometimes my mom, she is incredible at this. This woman goes above and beyond. Sometimes they're like, Mom, come on, you already promised this and you're already doing this. She goes, but come on, this would just be so cool. And I'm like, okay, here we go, one more thing. But she cares. She cares. And so I want you to know this, that you're not just being equipped and told what to do by a man who just likes telling you what to do. He actually does it. And I think there's power in that. So thank you for coming. I hope you feel equipped. Are you ready to continue your week? Grow your teams. Hey, we'll be back Sunday. We'll be back next month, first Wednesday of the month. We'll be back. PT will be in the flesh, and he'll be available. Questions, all that kind of stuff. I'm not available for questions. My mom always. This is my mom. Well. My dad will be like, hey, babe, they want us to do this Q&A thing. She goes, great. Can we get the questions in advance? And then I can process them for a really long time. He goes, nope, they're just going to, she's like, oh, God. Anyway, she's hilarious. She has the most wisdom in that brain of hers and her heart. So anyway, are you cool? Can I pray us out and then we'll be released? So Jesus, we love you. We thank you for the gift of leadership. God, we thank you that, Lord, that we just get this time together to come and be equipped. Lord, we thank you for your son, the leader who he is. Lord, we thank you for just these mentors that we have in our life. We thank you for our leaders, PT and Mama G, the way that they have just made it a priority that, God, we can win spiritually, but they also just want us to win in life. And so, Lord, we thank you for that. Lord, that what we've learned tonight, we would take and we would put into action. God, that we would see results, that we would, God, just see the fruit of what it takes when we put hard work in. And God, that we just become so aware of ourselves and those around us. We love you so much, Jesus. Give us safe travels wherever we're headed next. In your beautiful name we pray. Everybody said, amen. See you Sunday. We love you.
It's like I'm on the other side of the road, dreaming for a life I know. And all the things that I have done in this time, is it really mine? Sometimes I wish that I could just find my way, but I'm afraid